Rolex, the billion-dollar nonprofit that runs like a luxury empire. Rolex is technically a nonprofit. Yes, you heard that right. The company that sells $20,000 watches to billionaires. The brand synonymous with ultimate luxury and status is actually a charitable foundation. While you're desperately refreshing authorized dealer websites hoping for a Submariner allocation, Rolex doesn't even have shareholders. No stock market listing, no quarterly earnings calls, no investors breathing down their necks, no board meetings where suits argue about profit margins. This is the billion-dollar secret that separates the wealthy from the truly powerful. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this nonprofit structure makes Rolex more dangerous than any traditional luxury company on Earth. You'll see why the world's elite don't just buy Rolex, they respect it. But first, hit that subscribe button if you want more secrets the ultra-wealthy don't want you to know. Welcome to the hidden empire, Luxonians. Time to pull back the curtain, the visionary who gave it all away. Picture this. 1960, Switzerland. Hans Wilsdorf, founder of Rolex, is dying. He's built the most prestigious watch company in the world. Started from nothing in London in 1905. Survived 2 world wars. Created timepieces that climbed Everest and dove to ocean floors. His creation is worth millions and growing. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Instead of leaving his empire to family or selling to the highest bidder, Wilsdorf does something that shocked the business world. He gives the entire company away. Not to charity in the traditional sense, but to a private foundation he creates specifically for Rolex, the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. One man's vision to ensure his company would never be corrupted by outside influence, never be sold to competitors, never be gutted by profit-hungry investors, never lose its soul to market forces. This wasn't philanthropy. This was strategic immortality. Wilsdorf understood something that most entrepreneurs never grasp. True wealth isn't just about making money. It's about creating systems that outlast you. Systems that grow stronger over time. Systems that can't be destroyed by greed or market crashes. He essentially made Rolex eternal. While other luxury brands would rise and fall, Rolex would endure forever. Comment below if you think Wilsdorf was a genius or completely insane for giving away billions. The Foundation Empire. Here's how this billion-dollar nonprofit actually works. And trust me, this gets complex fast. Rolex SA is the operating company you know. The one that manufactures those perfect timepieces, runs those psychological marketing campaigns, operates those pristine boutiques where salespeople treat you like royalty. But Rolex SA is owned entirely by the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation, a private Swiss foundation with no shareholders, no public oversight, no financial transparency requirements, no regulatory breathing down their necks. The foundation is controlled by a board of trustees. These aren't random philanthropists or celebrity figureheads. They're hand-picked guardians of the Rolex legacy. Swiss foundation laws protect their identities. Their meetings happen behind closed doors. Their decisions are shrouded in secrecy. Their only legal obligation is to honor Wilsdorf's original vision. This structure means every single dollar of Rolex profits stays within the foundation. No dividends flowing to external shareholders. No pressure to maximize quarterly returns for Wall Street. No hostile takeovers from corporate raiders. No activist investors demanding strategic changes. Just pure, concentrated power flowing back into the brand itself. It's like a perpetual motion machine for wealth creation. But here's where it gets absolutely fascinating. If you want the complete breakdown of how Swiss foundations work and how you can apply this to your own wealth building, check out the Luxona vault after this video, where billions actually go. So what happens to Rolex's estimated $4 billion in annual revenue? This is where the magic happens. First, they reinvest massively in what made them legendary. Research and development budgets that would make Apple jealous. The most advanced manufacturing facilities in Switzerland. Precision that reaches atomic levels. Marketing campaigns that cost more than most companies' entire annual budgets. Sponsoring Formula One, tennis Grand Slams, and golf majors. But here's the genius part. They deliberately limit production, creating artificial scarcity that drives demand through the stratosphere. While other luxury brands chase volume and market share, Rolex chases exclusivity and mystique. And because they don't answer to shareholders demanding growth, they can afford to keep supply intentionally constrained. this nonprofit structure lets them play a completely different game. A game where less becomes more, where scarcity becomes currency, where waiting lists become status symbols. Think about it. When was the last time you desperately wanted something you could easily buy? Rolex has weaponized desire itself. Drop a comment if you've ever been on a Rolex waiting list and tell us how long you waited. The philanthropy machine. But Wilsdorf didn't create this foundation just for business advantages. Real philanthropy flows through this machine. The Rolex Awards for Enterprise. 50 years of supporting visionaries who are literally changing the world. We're talking about funding breakthrough environmental conservation projects, scientific innovations that push human knowledge forward, social enterprises that lift entire communities out of poverty. The Rolex Mentor and Protégé Arts Initiative, connecting master artists with emerging talent across the globe, preserving cultural heritage that would otherwise disappear. In Geneva alone, the foundation funds massive social housing projects, educational programs that transform lives, environmental research that protects our planet, all funded by those $20,000 Submariner purchases. Every luxury transaction becomes a contribution to human progress. But here's what makes this even more brilliant. These philanthropic efforts aren't separate from the business. They enhance the brand mystique. Every award winner becomes a Rolex ambassador. Every conservation project tells the Rolex story. Every mentorship creates brand loyalty for life. This is wealth with purpose, Luxonians. This is how you make money while making meaning. Make sure you subscribe because we're diving deeper into philanthropic wealth strategies next week. The luxury power play. Here's what most people completely miss about this nonprofit setup. It doesn't make Rolex weaker. It makes them absolutely unstoppable. Traditional luxury companies like LVMH, Richemont, or Kering, they're slaves to shareholder expectations. Quarterly pressure forces devastating short-term thinking. Public scrutiny limits strategic flexibility. Market volatility dictates major decisions. Stock price swings determine executive bonuses. Rolex operates in complete strategic secrecy. No earnings reports to dissect. No analyst expectations to meet. No market pressure to explain. No investor calls questioning every decision. This gives them supernatural competitive advantages that their rivals can only dream of. They can invest in decade-long research projects without justification. Fund innovations that won't pay off for years without explanation. Weather economic storms without panic or desperation. Make decisions based purely on long-term brand building. While competitors frantically chase quarterly numbers, Rolex builds century-long strategies. While others react to market trends, Rolex creates the trends. While others answer to shareholders, Rolex answers only to excellence. This is what true independence looks like in business. This is power without compromise, the hard truth about wealth. Most luxury brands exist to enrich shareholders. Line the pockets of founders. Generate quarterly returns for pension funds. Maximize short-term profits for private equity. Extract wealth from the business to benefit outsiders. Rolex exists to enrich itself and its eternal legacy. Every dollar flows back into the precision machine. Better materials sourced from the finest suppliers. Superior craftsmanship that borders on obsession. Deeper market penetration without compromising exclusivity. Stronger brand mystique that money can't buy. This creates a self-reinforcing cycle of absolute excellence. The better their watches, the higher the demand. The higher the demand, the more they can charge. The more they charge, the more they can reinvest. The more they reinvest, the better their watches become. And because there are no external shareholders to satisfy, 100% of profits stay within the system, growing stronger, getting better, becoming more exclusive. This is how you build an empire that lasts centuries. Not by extracting wealth and depleting resources, but by continuously compounding excellence. By turning every success into the foundation for the next victory. Most companies optimize for today's profits. Rolex optimizes for tomorrow's dominance. Comment below with your biggest takeaway from this wealth strategy. The Luxona lesson. This is bigger than watches, Luxonians. This is a masterclass in wealth architecture. Wilsdorf didn't just build a company. He engineered a wealth-generating organism. Self-sustaining like a perfect ecosystem. Self-improving like evolutionary biology. Self-protecting like a fortress designed by military geniuses. Think about your own wealth-building strategy right now. Are you chasing quick profits that disappear overnight? Or are you building systems that compound over decades? Are you focused on extraction and immediate gratification? Or reinvestment and delayed satisfaction? Are you optimizing for this year's income? Or this century's impact? Most people think wealth is about making money. True wealth is about creating structures that make money irrelevant. Rolex doesn't need investors because it has become the ultimate investment. It doesn't need the stock market because it has transcended market forces. It doesn't need external validation because it creates its own reality. Every watch sold strengthens the foundation. Every foundation project enhances the brand reputation. Every brand enhancement increases global demand. Every demand spike justifies higher prices. The cycle never breaks. It only accelerates. This is what separating wealth from ego actually looks like. Wilsdorf could have kept everything under his personal control. Instead, he gave it away to make it truly eternal. Sometimes the most powerful move is releasing direct control, to gain ultimate control. Sometimes you have to let go of ownership, to own forever. If you want to learn how to apply this exact foundation strategy to your own business, the Luxona Vault has a complete blueprint waiting for you. The secret formula. Here's what you can learn from the Rolex Foundation model. And pay attention, because this could change everything about how you think about wealth. Build systems, not just products or services. Think in decades, not quarters or years. Reinvest everything into your core mission without exception. Create scarcity through excellence, not artificial manipulation. Let quality drive demand, not cheap marketing tricks. Fund your own future through present success. Protect your vision from external interference. Most importantly, design your wealth to outlast your lifetime. The richest families in history understood this exact principle. The Medicis didn't just make money from banking. They created cultural institutions that still influence art today. The Rockefellers didn't just extract oil from the ground. They built foundations that continue shaping global policy. The Rothschilds didn't just trade currencies. They established financial systems that span centuries. Rolex proves this ancient strategy works in modern business. A nonprofit that generates more wealth than most Fortune 500 companies. A foundation that wields more cultural influence than traditional corporations. A brand so powerful that people wait years just for the privilege to purchase. Authorized dealers have more power than most CEOs. Customers beg for the opportunity to spend their money. Competitors study their every move like military strategists. This is what happens when you prioritize legacy over immediate liquidity. Vision over instant validation. Impact over quick income. Influence over obvious ownership. Make sure you're subscribed because next week we're breaking down how the Rothschild family used this exact same strategy. The empire continues. Today, the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation controls one of the most valuable brands on Earth. Worth an estimated $20 billion. Zero debt, zero external pressure. Maximum strategic flexibility. While other luxury companies struggle with market volatility, Rolex continues its relentless march toward perfection. Every Swiss franc flowing back into the empire. Every innovation strengthening the moat. Every philanthropic project enhancing the legacy. This is how you build wealth that transcends money. Wealth that creates culture. Wealth that shapes industries. Wealth that improves the world. And the beautiful irony? By giving away his company, Wilsdorf made it worth more than he ever could have alone. Tell us in the comments, what business do you think should adopt this foundation model? The master's final move. Now, you understand the real secret behind those green and gold boxes. You're not just buying a watch. You're participating in a century-long vision. Contributing to a foundation that funds human progress. Supporting a system designed to outlast empires. This changes how you think about luxury, doesn't it? Every Rolex purchase becomes an investment in excellence. Every foundation project becomes a legacy builder. Every innovation becomes a step toward immortality. This is what true wealth looks like, Luxonians. Not just accumulation, but architecture. Not just earning, but engineering. Not just success, but systems. Your next move. So here's the question that should be burning in your mind right now. What systems are you building? What foundations are you creating? What legacy are you architecting? Because wealth without structure is just money. And money without purpose is just paper. But wealth with vision? Wealth with systems? Wealth with legacy? That's how you build an empire. That's how you create immortality. That's how you think like Hans Wilsdorf. If you want the complete step-by-step guide to building your own foundation-based wealth system, head to the Luxona vault right after this video. We've broken down the exact legal structures, tax advantages, and strategic frameworks that billionaires use. Now you know what 90% of people don't. Rolex isn't just a watch company, it's a wealth architecture masterpiece. A blueprint for building empires that last centuries. A lesson in how true power works. The question is, will you use this knowledge? Hit subscribe if this opened your eyes to how real wealth works. Drop a comment telling us what foundation you're going to build. And remember, welcome to Luxona, where millionaires are made and legends are born. Don't forget to check out the vault for the complete blueprint. Your empire starts now.